Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to slay another day? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
Just doing real good, real good. I just tried to off myself on a coffee table, but that's just a typical Tuesday, if you ask me.
Were you wearing a Hawaiian shirt while you did it?
Of course I was, yeah.
Understandable. We're here to talk about Buffy Season 4, Episode 11, Doomed. This was like very fun that we got to return to the high school. I was really excited that we were returning to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, did you feel a sense of closure?
I guess so. Like, I don't know that I didn't feel closure before, but I liked that we were going back to, like, again, drink every time you hear the word Hellmouth. Like, we're going back to the Hellmouth, baby. So that was really fun. All of the Spike stuff was killing me. He's really great comic relief, so I'm really enjoying that aspect.
Yeah, he's a star. It's so true. Like, I can totally see what, the writing team was. I see the vision that they were seeing, and I think that this version of Spike is probably the best I've liked him, because he makes those funny jokes. He's like sometimes a little, he makes fun of the Scoobies, like he kind of makes fun of the situation. And of course, like, I mean, it's so stupid, but also like the fact that like, oh, like I'm not totally neutered, like I can like kill bad guys.
Isn't that convenient for you, Spike?
Yeah, I definitely did write that when I was like watching it the first time. I was like, oh, that's real cute, real cute that he's able to like, kill baddies, but very convenient for him. So kind of like a backdoor way for him to be able to like be fully part of the Scoobies. Like he still gets to kill something, which I guess is what brings him joy in life. I can't knock that, but yeah,
I enjoyed this episode. I thought like Percy comes back and is a total douche nozzle, so that was like at least fun to see him return, even though he's a complete douche. There's just a lot of fun stuff in this episode, so let's talk it through. I want to pick up where we left off last week, Sarah, because you were really upset that we didn't get this Buffy and Riley conversation. I really didn't think we were going to start this episode by picking up there. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to skip over it completely.
No. I mean, like, I feel like it is a little bit of Buffy to kind of like sometimes pick off where we left. And I really like this scene, I guess. Well, no, I don't, because that's the truth. I don't really like it at all, because like I love Buffy Summers. Like I think that she's a great character. I love watching her. She was so fucking annoying this episode. I wanted to strangle her, and it's so bad that we're doing our rankings this episode, and this is what we got from her, because Girly Pop has been number one the entire series for us. Every single list, I'm pretty positive she's been number one for me, and I'm gonna have to take a real deep think if she's going to stay there, because she was annoying me so bad. And I will tell you this, I am purely a Ruffy stan. I love Ruffy. I think that they are great together. And I was like, every single thing that Riley was saying, I'm like, Buffy, you fucking idiot, listen to him. Like, listen to him. You're being so stubborn. So I really am liking Riley. I think like at first, like Riley digesting what Buffy was saying, like he's never even heard of the Slayer before. And Buffy was like, oh yeah, everybody knows, but he didn't. He didn't know. They're from two different worlds, but they do the same thing. And this is why it works so well. And I think that he needed a minute to digest it. He talked to his buddies, notice how like, how Buffy did not do so at first at all. I don't know. I thought that like, I guess my frustration was the fact that like Buffy was just like this could never work. And like, I'm kind of very much coming from Riley's point of view of like, how could it not work?
Yeah. I don't disagree with you, right? Like I think when Buffy is aiming for a normal, everyday Iowa, Idaho, wherever the hell this guy's from, sort of a guy,
Iowa.
right? Iowa, thank you. That's what she's aiming for because her last serious boyfriend was complicated, was a vampire, like it caused all sorts of disruptions in her life. And this is, I think, where her mindset is, that she is like, I'm gonna date a normie. I'm gonna date a normal guy, we're gonna have a normal relationship, and that's gonna be that. And I think when she finds out that Riley isn't just a normal guy, she feels like, well, there's no way this can work because it didn't work the last time. I don't even want to try, right? Like, I don't even want to try with this guy because he's not a normie. And that is what I wanted. That's what I thought I wanted. But I think Buffy needs a little bit of a reality check. Like, the thing is, she should be ecstatic that she could be honest with this guy. Like, she can't be honest with a regular normie sort of a guy.
Yeah.
This guy is literally in the same field as you, Buffy. Like, you have maybe not the same goal in mind because we don't exactly know what the like overall goal is of this like organization that he works for. But we know that you have maybe a similar goal in mind and you're involved in similar things. And guess what? You don't have to lie to him anymore, which feels like a step in the right direction in terms of a relationship. But the thing that got me most annoyed with Buffy, honestly, Sarah, was when it almost felt like she was being a little like snobby or like elitist in being like, well, I'm the Slayer. It's my destiny. Yours is just a job, which like, okay, is like fair and correct, but it's also
true, but
it's not his fault that he's not the Slayer. And like, I think she takes it a little too seriously at times where, yes, it's a serious thing, but I feel like she's chastising him when he says like, but it can be fun. Like, she's just like, killing isn't fun, you idiot. Like, she's so like serious about it that I'm like, girl, like, he's right. You need to realize that like you should be having a little bit more fun than you are having. He's not saying just go kill any rando, but like, it doesn't have to be as serious as you're making it.
Yeah. I think like the whole, like, I mean, the only time where I felt a little like sort of feelings towards Riley was that like, and it's not even his fault because he can't possibly fathom what it means that it's her destiny. Like, he doesn't understand the differences of being the Slayer and being like part of this military organization, because for him it's like, well, she has this job that's very similar to his. Like, he doesn't understand like the supernatural element of it. We don't even understand the supernatural element of it. We still don't understand how the council chooses a Slayer. But apparently it's like some sort of prophecy that is like led to her getting chosen. So like, I understand like he was like, well, you can just quit. And she's like, I literally cannot quit. And he can't understand why that's the case because he is just learning about what that means to be a Slayer. Like, I liked the conversation that Riley had with his buddy because he was like, have you heard of the Slayer? And his friend was like, it's literally a thing of myths. Like, it's just folklore. Like, it is like the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. Like, it's a bunch of nothing. So it's like it sounds like not a lot of people know what the Slayer is. And if they have heard about it, it's like the Loch Ness Monster. Like, it's like things of myth. Like, it probably doesn't exist, but like there's definitely people telling crazy stories about the Slayer or the Loch Ness Monster in mythology,
right? Yeah, she's really not giving him much time to grasp all of this because even though she's just finding out now that Riley is a part of this group, she's known of its existence, right? Like, she knows that Spike got captured and all of that stuff, so she knows more about him than he does about her, which obviously is going to allow her to kind of adapt to the situation a little bit quicker. But yeah, she's very much like against this. And I understand why you're a fan of Riley, because he is very much like, he kind of has like golden retriever energy. Like
Yes.
he's very like floppy haired, like happy go lucky sort of a guy, even in a situation where like maybe it's doom and gloom. And I think, you know what it is? Okay, Sarah, this isn't going to really land for you because you don't watch Grey's Anatomy, but like, it almost feels like Buffy is like the dark and twisty, like Meredith Grey. And like Riley is, I don't know that he's McDreamy, but like something similar to that, where he's much more like light and fluffy.
Yeah.
And so like she's trying to say, but I'm dark and twisty. My job is dark and twisty. Like, you don't understand. It's my destiny. And he's like, but we're having fun. Like, but we're having a good time. And I don't know. I feel like they could make it work, but I feel like Buffy just has so much trauma and like sad feelings about everything that happened with Angel that she's just not willing to put her heart out there for a person that she feels like is too similar to Angel. But let's be real, Sarah. Angel was much more dark and twisty than Riley is. Like, they're so different as people that even though they're both involved in like the seedy underbelly and the Hellmouth and all that stuff, right? They're involved in certain ways. He's just so different. Like, I don't know. I really wanted to be like, Buffy, lighten up, girl. Like, you're in college. These are the fun years, you know?
Yeah. I mean, certainly. I think, but like, I honestly think it kind of reminds me a lot of our discussions surrounding Elena and her choices of men in Felicity. Like, Elena can be so serious and she needs somebody that's lighter to bring her out of that. And I feel as though Riley is such a good match for her because like he can bring that out of her. And it is huge golden retriever energy, but he's not dumb. So
no, this is not me trying to get on his. I think he's actually a pretty intelligent person from everything we've seen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm liking Riley more now. I guess I always.
I know you don't like blondes, but like, tell me he's not adorable.
He's adorable. I'm not a big fan of blondes, but like, he's adorable. The thing that there's like an itch in the back of my brain, Sarah, and it is because I'm like, I need to understand the motive behind like the psychology professor lady and his entire crew, because there's always going to be an itch in my mind because he has that golden retriever energy. Does that mean he's slightly naive and could be manipulated and like doing things that he doesn't realize are really bad? You know what I mean? Like, I could see him falling into that sort of a trap, but I'm liking him. I'm enjoying the fact that we get to have Buffy kind of sort of not really, I guess, dating a person who is able to like step in and help her fight. And even though he has a very different skill set, and something that I really enjoyed was how that was highlighted this episode, right? Like, when the demon gets away from her, she's like, you didn't chase him? And he's like, I don't have any equipment on me. I didn't call for backup. Like, he has protocols that he's following. And for her, that's just not how she operates, because let's face it, she's not even under the Watcher's Council anymore. She's rogue. She can do whatever she wants.
A rogue demon hunter.
Rogue demon hunter, exactly.
He's a rogue demon hunter. I think like that could help as well. I think that they could help each other. I'm excited about it, but honestly, I agree with you. Like, I do think the fact that like I truly don't know what this like military organization's intentions are in totality. Like, I don't know if there's any like corruption within it and how involved Riley is in that. And I strongly do think that Buffy is going to want somebody who's darker or more supernatural or has more of an edge than Riley. So I have no doubt in my mind that she's actually going to like absolutely pulverize his heart.
Oh, certainly that's going to happen.
It's going to be so sad. His little face is going to be so sad. It's going to be like the Dawson picture.
The crying meme.
Yeah, it's going to be just like that. Like, I know for a fact, like, they're not endgame. Like, you know, they're not going to be like the one true couple. I'm sure that like it's just probably me and our friend Todd out there being
part of the Ruffy gang.
But I like genuinely think if like this was like a real human being, Buffy and she was like my actual friend, I'd be like, this is like the guy. Like, this is the guy for you. He's like normal. He's a normie, but he can understand what you do because he does
Yes.
it too.
He's a
And
spicy normie.
a spicy normie. And I think like that's like what Buffy needs, but that's not what Buffy wants.
Exactly.
Buffy's
Yes.
wants
Dark and stormy, like
dark and
freaking
stormy, like
Angel was.
or like, you know, like
Yeah.
Spike, a future Spike relationship. Like this is like
Yeah.
what she's going to be led to. But if she was my daughter, I would like go with Riley. Riley's the boy that you bring home, right? Like Riley.
Oh, he is definitely the one you introduce to your mom for sure.
Mhm.
Like also the other thing I will say that I really do like about Riley is we know that when he is fighting danger, whatever you want to call it, he's working in a team. And I feel like that is something that is inherent in how Buffy fights, because maybe she doesn't always want to, but she's much stronger when she has her team behind her.
Yeah.
And he knows how to work well with the team, where it's something that I would never say about Angel up until he gets his own spinoff show. Then he learns how to fight in a team. But like, I just think there's obviously many things in the pro column for Riley. I agree with you. I think Buffy's not going to be as like excited about it because like she kind of needs the dark and stormy.
Yes. However, I want to go to Exhibit B, which is the kiss, especially at the end. And that kiss, Jessica, that was a good kiss.
It was a good kiss. I admit it was a good kiss.
They have excellent kiss chemistry, so much better than she ever had with David Boreanaz. Like
their
so
kisses were painful. They were painful.
It was really bad. And like at first I was blaming Sarah Michelle Gellar, and now I don't know who to blame because I kind of feel like maybe she wasn't comfortable with him. I don't know.
I mean, the way I look at it is she has had 4 years now working on the show, and like, you know, I feel like that's something that maybe you just get better at as well.
Sure.
But along these same lines, I want to kind of pivot a little bit and talk about the fact that after Buffy finds out all this information about Riley, right? Like after they talk about it and they leave, she does end up talking to Giles, right? Like and he is trying to be like, oh, we need to find out more about these people. We got some information from Spike. She doesn't tell Giles about Riley.
No, and that's what I was talking about how like Riley told his buddy, not like specifics, but like at least I don't know. And she gets so secretive always. And that is going to get her in trouble one day.
Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of Harry Potter because like I remember Harry Potter in like book 6 or 5, I don't know. He was hiding stuff from like Harry and Hermione and even Dumbledore, and that got him in like a lot of trouble. And I think it's going to get her in a lot of trouble as well because it's a habit that she has. Like she's just like me. She sweeps things under the rug.
Well, she's very much a kind of person of like, I'll handle it myself. Like she doesn't want to burden everyone else, but like sometimes I want to shake her and be like, these are your friends. They're practically your family. They're volunteering to help you. They want to help you. Be honest with them. Because I don't think if she told Giles, he would all of a sudden be like, let's capture him. Like he's a very reasonable person. So of all of the people to tell, Giles is, I feel like, one of the top ones to choose to tell.
I do think so.
And she doesn't tell him at all. No. Like she's not only not telling him, Sarah, but she's very much trying to distract him. And okay, we have the kiss pulled up. Watch us on YouTube if you want to see the Riley.
I just want to talk about the lip positioning.
It's excellent. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. And then hold on, I think that she puts her hand somewhere. I don't know, but look at that.
The hand. Yeah, that was
good. Hot. That is so hot. That is perfect.
The hand on the like cheek, neck kind of area is perfect.
Thank you for sharing my screen.
So yeah, I just
she didn't on top Willow either, which
no, she didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, which I found strange too, because like maybe Giles is like, oh, you're like my dad. Like sometimes I don't want to tell you stuff because I don't want to get in trouble. But then, like, why wasn't she telling Willow?
And there's been
Either.
so many times where she has not told her friends about X, Y, or Z, and then they find out, and then they're upset because it's like, well, you lied to me. Like, you didn't tell me something.
Yeah.
And so the other thing that's happening that is going to lead into like the larger story of this episode is the earthquake, right? And so she's very much like, Giles, the last this is the funniest thing to me. I don't live in California. I've never lived in California. I know that California experiences like a decent amount of earthquakes. So
Mhm.
like I find it funny that like there's an earthquake and immediately Buffy is like, it's the end of the world like last time. I'm like, I'm Giles and I'm like, girl, you live in Southern California. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I don't know, earthquakes are so freaky, but
Oh, they're scary, yeah.
yeah. So she is thinking back to the time where she died because I don't even remember what
She
time.
drowned in the puddle.
But what does that have to do with the earthquake?
Because
The
I
earthquake was
believe the
time?
earthquake, if I'm not mistaken, is when the Hellmouth like reopened, it made the earthquake.
Got it.
So I think she's like, this is just like last time, because last time it was the end of the world. And I thought it was very funny that this time it's like, it's the end of the world. And they're like, again?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, Giles at first doesn't take her very seriously about this, but then after doing more book research, he changes his tune and then they have to go into action crunch mode. And part of that
Yeah.
is going to the opening to Hellmouth, which is at the school, as we well know. So
Right.
and
Yeah.
then
And
just like a giant hole, and like people kept popping in and out of it, and they had to not throw people in the hole. I don't know. They lost me. I'm
okay,
gone.
I'll explain what's happening. So
Yeah.
we'll back up a little bit because Willow is gonna go to a party. And basically when she's at this party, she bumps into frickin' Percy, which if you don't
I
remember,
do remember that. Yeah.
yeah, this is the guy who she tutored in high school. And I felt so bad for Willow. There is nothing worse than being at like a party and having literally no one you like are comfortable with near you. And so she sees Percy because Buffy's not around and Xander's not there obviously. So like Oz is gone. So she has no one to hang out with. She sees Percy. So she immediately like is like, "Oh, hey Percy." Blah 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 blah, just making casual conversation. And the girl he's with is such an asshole. She's like whispering in his ear, basically saying like, she's boring. Let's get out of here. And then Willow overhears Percy calling Willow like a nerd and all these other things. And I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. She helped you study. Like, you were so kind to her in high school. Don't be a dick now. It's supposed to be the reverse. You're supposed to have growth once you get out of high school. What a dick.
Yeah. I mean, he was being a dick and pretty annoying as well. The girl was really annoying. Like, I don't really understand the reason why. I guess she was jealous because he was talking to her in a friendly tone, which is pretty pathetic. But then again, these people are like 19 years old. So like what I guess I can't expect much more. But yeah, like I think that he was just being like a dick. I did feel bad for Willow, but also I was like, Willow, you're just like such a freaking loser. Like, just talk to somebody, anybody. I don't know. Talk to a wall. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be uncomfortable too if I was Willow. Like, I'm not very good.
Then why would you go to the party then? That's the thing. Like, if you're not.
Oh, I wouldn't. But I think Willow is trying to just be social, right? She's trying to like embrace college. I think she's just having a little bit of a rough go of it because Buffy's not around. Xander isn't invited to a college party and Oz is gone now, right? Like if you always had like a comfort or like a security blanket in Oz and now he's gone, that's tough. And so she takes a moment to herself, as we've all done before, and finds a room to go hang out in. Now she didn't turn on the light, which not what I would do, but okay. She lays down on someone's bed. Now, let me just say, you'd never find me putting my face on someone else's pillow. Like, unless it was like a close friend or a family member, or like, I was staying over at someone's house that I knew them personally.
Yeah.
This is gross.
A rando's pillow.
I'm just saying there could be dried drool.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. You just don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's not, and we're not at a hotel or Airbnb or something.
This is someone's home.
No, it's somebody's like frat house.
Yeah, like there's probably I'm sorry to say,
Others.
how often do you think that these frat boys are changing these sheets?
Never. I don't know if they've ever changed a sheet
Just think about the layers and layers of things
of things. Yeah.
on the pillow.
So but she was so sad, Jessica. She was so sad.
I
She was like,
know.
I am so weepy. I literally have to weep on this rando's bed. And
Yeah. This is not the place to cocoon, girl. This is not it.
Well, as a lover of cocooning, any cocoon that I get might be worth taking, but
Would you do this? Would you just like go into,
No.
especially without, I don't understand not turning on the light. Truly. I don't understand it. Because what if, okay, I'm sorry. You're at a frat house party.
Yeah.
Do you not think, what if someone's boning in this room?
No, yeah. I mean, like, that would probably be my first thought. So she was probably just happy and lucky that she like entered. She probably like tried a bunch of doors, like, and different variations of more moaning and sexual sounds. And then she finally found one, and there's no sounds in there. She's like, ooh, phew, I'm so happy. And now I can go into this one room and like cocoon and cry at this frat party. Like, I don't know. I wonder. It's so sad to cry at a frat party. So embarrassing. So she's laying down there for a while until she does realize that there is a dead ass body next to her.
There is a full-on dead body on this bed next to her. And obviously cops get called, blah, 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 blah. But the important thing is carved into this guy's chest is a symbol. And this is what the Scoobies end up having to talk about, right? Because this is what makes Giles realize, oh, wait, whoopsies, Buffy's right. It's the end of the world again. The symbol looks really familiar. And basically what happens is the demons that are trying to end the world need three things. They need the blood of a man, the bones of a child, and the word of Valios. And I guess they already have the first two. And the word of Valios, they're trying to figure out like what is it exactly, right? I think they think it's like a book or something, but it turns out to be the like carving thing that Giles has. But all of this is to destroy the worlds. So they need to stop the demons because they're performing that ritual that when you were saying, oh, we can't let them jump in and out and whatever.
Yes.
They're performing the ritual at the Hellmouth. And once they all sacrifice and they jump in, that's what's going to end the world.
You know, if I was a demon, I would be like, you know what? This world seems pretty taken. How about we go to Mars or something? Like Mars is safe. You know, nobody's over there being like, oh, I'm going to destroy you. Earth is not that good, demons. Like, choose a different Earth.
I mean, solid point. Yeah. Like first of all, California of all places, like is about to fall into the ocean. Like they have legit earthquakes all the time. Like we've heated up our world so much. Like there's global warming. Like you're right. Pick a different planet to mess with. Like we're already on our way out. Don't kick a dog when it's down.
we are X amount of years away from total destruction.
Yeah. So Giles does eventually realize he has this like talisman, right? And so he finds it, and all the other Scoobies are off trying to find it.
Where was the talisman? Was it like literally in
his
storage unit?
He had it in his weapons trunk, and he says later he thought it was a fake. Like he didn't think it was real. He got it at some sorcerer's estate sale. He thought it was a piece of junk.
Wait, Giles is an estate sale boy?
He kind of looks like he would be, doesn't he?
I love the thought of estate sales. There's going to be
Have you been to an estate sale?
No, but I want to. I want to do that because I just, you know, I
feel like you'd be very successful at it.
I'm so nosy that the fact that I can go into somebody's house and buy and look at their shit. Oh, kisses.
I actually think this could have been like, not that you don't have like a fantastic career as it is, but like this would be something I think you'd be very good at is going to estate sales because you have an eye for design. So I feel like you'd go to an estate sale. First of all, you'd have a hell of a time poking through drawers, like poking around, seeing what people have.
So fun. Yeah.
And then you'd also be able to be like, that's a little hidden gem over there. Let's buy that. And then, I don't know, resell it, whatever people do with those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, and for me, estate sales seem very snooty to me. I know that's not always the way they are, but whenever I hear estate sale, I always picture like rich people. Like it's almost like a rich people garage sale.
Yes. Yeah. I think the difference is that you're just entering their home and you're shopping their house.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Like,
and it's also like usually it's because someone has like died and they're getting like the person who
mhm,
then,
mhm.
got all
Or
the stuff is selling
or they're
it.
moving like across country,
That's true.
or yeah. I mean, but yeah.
But
I
yeah, Giles does look like a guy. Oh my god, Giles looks like a guy who like does the paddle at auctions, like, and he's like
yeah,
very chill about it,
yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, and until he'll be very chill until Cordelia is up for auction, and then nobody's betting on her, and she's like, "Why won't you bet on me?
These
I'm
eyes are great.
I'm worth so much more." Okay, so he has this talisman. It's just been hanging out in his memory box, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And all these demons come in and steal it from him. And the funniest thing to me is
Mm.
Giles gets away with just a couple scratches. Why didn't they kill him? Seriously. They killed this other guy for less.
Well, he's very valuable, and honestly, we only needed one man's blood, I guess.
I
And
guess so.
he's not a child, so it's like, "Oh, you
Ridiculous.
know what? We got the grocery list. We don't need to buy another man's blood."
We
Like,
have
we
a
checked it
librarian
off.
already. We
Yeah.
don't need a second one.
We have a
Um
yeah, we have a whole stockpile.
so at this point, everyone finds out, all the Scoobies find out. They talk to Giles and they're like, okay, we got to go back to high school now. So this is when they all congregate at the high school. Meanwhile, we got to talk about Spike and everything going on with him.
Oh, Spike is in his depression era because he is hating being Xander's roommate. It is not good. It is not fun for him. He is essentially like, I am being tortured because Xander is a dum dum and I don't like hanging out with him, and I'm stuck here, and
Yeah.
he like ties me up, and he like keeps talking about boinking Anya. It is miserable. So basically, the earthquake burst Xander's basement pipes. So all of Spike's clothes got wet, and he put it in the dryer, and Spike doesn't know how to use a dryer because he's like a 200 years old or whatever, 113, something like that. So he shrunk his clothes. So now he has to walk around in Xander's clothes. He is reheating Xander nachos, and it's essentially ugly ass clothes.
I think the thing is, Spike really gets like the shitty side of this, because if he had stayed with almost pretty much any other Scooby, his life is so much better. But he gets stuck in Xander's parents' basement with Xander for company, and like I've come around a lot on Xander this season. This is his best season yet, and it's not close.
Yeah.
I still would say of all the Scoobies to have to live with, he's definitely the worst one. And so poor Spike is like really sick and tired of this. He's wearing freaking Xander's like Hawaiian shirt and like khaki pants. It's devastating. It's so sad. He can't handle this life anymore. And he tries to off himself with a coffee table. He tries to stake himself.
I mean, I'm gonna like, this was probably like my favorite moment of the episode. It was so funny. It was just so funny. He was just like, I can't live like this anymore. And he like is standing on top of the freaking coffee table, and then just like falls forward and it smashes. And then Willow and Xander come in and they're like, don't do it. Don't end your life. You're worth so much.
It's so funny because Xander's like, I would have helped you. Like if if you needed it. And Willow is the one who's like, it's not that bad, Spike. Like we would be scared of you if we knew you could bite us. It's really funny. She's trying to pump him up.
To support him so much. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, she feels really bad for him. Like, she's like,
yeah,
pathetic Spot's pathetic, and you're pretty pathetic. So now
they're both in a depression era, and like she can recognize that in Spike, and she's like, we can't let him do it now. And I do love, and of course Xander's trying to be like, oh, do anything else and you're gonna be in the garage or whatever. But I do love Willow being like, listen, you can come with us, there's an apocalypse happening. He's like, really? You're not just saying that?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna give you the pity invite, you can tag along with us. And he does so. And he's pretty mean at one point in this episode, Spike is, towards Willow and Xander. He basically calls them both losers and pathetic. And Buffy's sidekicks and the fact that like Buffy would ditch them if she didn't feel bad about it. And
Yeah. And he also is really mean to Willow about Oz leaving too.
yeah. Well,
It's really rough.
rough times. He's just saying it because he's frustrated. Hurt people, as they
Well, and he
say.
wants them to kill him, right? So like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to anger
Trying to
them
egg
into
them.
killing him. But everyone ends up rallying at the high school, and this is when they start to get into a fight because they're trying to prevent the demons from getting the sacrifice things into the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
Everyone starts fighting, and then a demon attacks Spike, and Spike realizes, oh, hey, I can hurt fellow demons.
Yeah.
And he is freaking jazzed. He has found a new lease on life because he can exert violence, like just like he wants. Can't be on humans, but it can be on demons. So he is like so excited. And very obviously, Sarah, like this is as much as the chip was a plot device to allow Spike to stick around, this is even bigger plot device to have him be on the good side.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty transparent about the intentions, but it's also like of course we want Spike to stick around. He's in the credits now, as is Riley, and in order to make him useful and not super miserable all the time trying to stake himself, then we're gonna give him a win. So it'll be fun. Like I wonder how, like, when is the morality going to come around? Like I'm a little like interested about because like I think especially with like somebody like Harmony and now with Spike, where like their goals are like obviously they want to be fed, like they don't want to starve and die, but it doesn't seem like Harmony's goal really is to like kill. It's just mainly to whine. Like how much does a vampire that doesn't have a soul, unlike Angel, have the like wherewithal to not be evil? And does that mean, is there a whole group of vampires out there who are not evil trying to kill all the time and like is past the point of being like murder? Like I want to understand, like, are they how much control do they have to be evil or not?
So going through the Buffy lore, at least, from what we've been told, Angel is like the only one of his kind. So he's like the only demon with a soul. I think if we're being like generous in our interpretation, I feel like we could say, okay, Spike just wants to be violent. He doesn't necessarily need to be violent against humans. It's just like his favorite prey. But there are other prey he could take out. Obviously, when you kill a human, you get the benefit of also getting their blood, which he loves.
Right. Yeah.
But like, and then if we're including in like the way vampires work in other like pieces of media, I feel like it's pretty commonplace that the younger a vampire is, so like the more recently they've been turned, the more like juvenile they are. So they like can't control themselves as well. They're always hungry. They're like never satiated. So I don't know if it works the same way on Buffy, but we know Spike is decently old, so he has a good grip on that at this point. Harmony, not so much. So like we could maybe read, of course she seemed very immature in general anyway. So yeah, I don't know, like I don't really care. Like I we know it's a plot device. Like we understand why they're doing what they're doing. I really enjoyed the final scene of the episode where like Spike is like, "Why are you watching TV? We have demons to hunt. Come on, guys, let's go." Like, I mean, I don't mind because I've always seen Spike as someone who just enjoys killing. Like he enjoys it. And so I don't see how it would matter to him if it was a demon or a human he's killing. I still think he wants to drink human blood, but that's not really an option for him right now unless he had a willing participant who would drain their blood for him.
I guess I'm just thinking about like a couple of seasons in advance about like, can you earn a soul? Like, could he go to like the powers that be and or whomever and be like, look, like, yeah, or like, I don't know, like he can earn it back or something, or like,
I don't think anything is off the table
I
on this
know,
show. You know, they could write that to make it make sense.
like, because I just like feel like the more good he does, that just solidifies the fact that like he has a soul. And I think like souls
Like
are
he's
such,
earning
like,
good points.
essentially, like I think souls are such it's such like an abstract thought, but like
Mhm.
I guess like it's surrounding like morality, and that's how like Angel put it. Like he felt bad that he was a vicious killer. And like maybe there's a case to be said that like Spike will never feel bad, but like the more good he does, then like I just feel like there's probably something to that. Like there's probably something there where it's going to be like the more good deeds he does, the more he's going to be interested in continuing doing good, which means that like he is very much closer to an Angel than to like a Daddy Vamps or a Drusilla or like any
Sure.
of those other like bad vampires.
Yeah,
Which
I
means
could
that
totally see your point.
Angel's not going to be that like special in a way. Like there's going to be more than one like vampire that does things. You know what I mean? Like it's just like something. Like it's just there's going to be something there. I think like it's going to be in time. I'm not sure.
I could see us getting like a really interesting character arc for Spike, like including the implant in some way. Like, what if they do fix it eventually, and he still decides like to remain on the quote unquote good side, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think he's interested in killing. I think he maybe, you know what it could be? He probably doesn't find humans to be super challenging anymore after this many
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
maybe he wants a challenge, right? Like maybe he's going to view it as like a competitive thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for whatever direction they decide to take this storyline in though, because Spike is hilarious. And like one of the funniest moments for me this episode was when Riley sees Spike when they all kind of converge and fight.
Oh
And
my
he's
god.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh, who are you?" And Spike obviously is like, "I don't want to be recognized. Oh, I'm just an old pal of Xander's here." Like he puts on this like really weird Southern accent.
Yeah, it was that, and then also the background acting before he was introduced, like the
Yeah.
nasty ass look that he gave Riley, and then he was trying to like hide behind Willow. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
I
But
just yeah.
yeah. And ultimately, when Riley gets there to help, the building is like starting to collapse. Again, this is like the old library. Like it's already rubble, but it's the building's gonna come down on them. So Buffy yells at everyone to leave. Riley is still there, and Buffy has to like jump into the Hellmouth to get one of the demons out. The funniest thing to me is Riley pulling her back up on what essentially is a shoelace. Like it is the tiniest string I've ever seen, and I do not understand how it could bear a human's weight.
It's none of my business
But
to
it cracked me up.
yeah. None of my business how that worked.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed this episode. I thought it had a good mix of like funny moments and then like monster of the week sort of shenanigans, you know, like I don't know, Sarah, like at what point do we have to have the discussion of like, I'm really enjoying season 4 and I don't really understand. And maybe we're not there yet, right? Like maybe we haven't fallen off the side of the cliff that is like whatever the long-term story arc is for this season. But I'm really enjoying all of these episodes. Like
Me
I don't find
too.
any of them to be heinous or egregious
No.
beyond we know Bad Beer was really awful.
It wasn't even like it was like stupid, but it wasn't unwatchable. Like honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like maybe some people are maybe their expectations are too high. Maybe we just need to live in a world where we think everything is going to be shitty and then we deal with it and we're like, "Hey, this is not bad at all."
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So let's talk through Cordy's corner.
Mhm.
Because we watched the Angel episode obviously as well, and I'm trying to remember how to pronounce this. Somnambulist. That's the episode, season 1, episode 11. And we get more Angel backstory. We meet someone who Angel sired and find out he's like basically the serial killer who's been killing ever since. And he's played by Hawkeye. Did you recognize him?
No.
Jeremy something Renner is his name.
Okay.
That's the actor's name. With a hideous ass goatee. You knew he was evil when you saw that goatee because it was fucking ugly.
Are all goatees evil?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get a lot of cop stuff where it's like the cops are after him and Angel
No
can't tell
interest.
blonde cop lady about it. Yeah. Who
No interest.
cares?
Yeah.
I don't ever need to see cop lady. Okay. Wesley, give me all the Wesley. Wesley talking about Gallagher. Why is that so funny? It's so funny. It's so stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know who
I
Gallagher
do
is?
know what I know what you're saying, but I didn't get the reference. No.
Gallagher is that guy who smashes watermelons with a hammer. And they were basically saying like, why change your tricks when it's like it works well. Everyone loves it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Wesley loves Gallagher. He loves the guy who
Okay.
smashes watermelons with a hammer.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all that guy does.
All right. Well, cool. I know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't really have that much interest in Kate, but obviously
No.
Angel does. So I guess sure, why not? I did
Well,
like the
now she
Wesley-
knows. Now she's
Yeah,
big
she
mad
knows.
about it.
Yeah, now she knows, even though she got saved by him. So she was very upset about that. She
I
wanted
was
to
kind
kill
of
him.
annoyed when she's just like, oh, you can't come in unless I invite you. Yeah, I know how it works. It's like, ooh, good for you. You read a fucking book. Like, congratulations. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't care about Kate. And it's probably part of it is that she's a cop and all that stuff. But also, I just don't find her to be a compelling character. And I
Yeah.
think that's the bigger problem because
Yeah.
I find Cordelia obviously to be very compelling. We have history with Leslie, so I feel like I was more likely to be open to him anyway.
Yeah.
But the dynamic that those three have is far more interesting than literally anything Kate has going on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I agree with you. I feel as though we're obviously supposed to find her interesting, but I just don't. And if we're going to give Angel a love interest, I just wish that it was somebody that I just was a little bit more intrigued by. But yeah, I thought
Yeah.
this episode was okay. Like, I thought that the backstory of like Angel and like his like assistant or whatever, the guy that he sired, was interesting. I felt
Mhm.
like Cordelia had a lot of like weird um like regression moments. You know how I was talking about how like we're regressing to like 1.0 Cordelia at times,
Yeah.
where like she is like overtly dumb. I just feel like she's not stupid. So when she makes mistakes, like welcoming in this rando
And
and
telling him
yeah,
everything.
I feel like she's too smart to be doing this. So I don't
Especially
like
at this
it.
point.
Yeah, I don't like this mechanism that the show uses sometimes because like they think it's funny for her to be dumb, but like I know Cordelia isn't dumb. So when they do this, it kind of like pisses me off. Like Cordelia's really smart. She got into every school that she applied to. Like, yeah, sometimes she's like she's definitely materialistic and sometimes naive, but especially because how long she's been working with Angel, like I just don't see a world where she'd be giving up this information so freely anymore. But whatever. I didn't
Yeah.
really like that. I did like all the beats of Cordelia like genuinely thinking that Angel is her friend and like putting a lot of like she really cares about him now. I like that. And like the Wesley stuff I'm enjoying. I think that he's really funny, but I guess like my wish was just I don't know. I guess my main issues with the episode is that um just like whenever they bring Kate in, I feel like you and I are just so out on it and I don't know. It's just because it's like a little boring. But I did like the background stuff. I mean, the Irish accent is like amazing. Really, really huge talent from all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm liking Angel. I think the character of Kate's kind of a dud. And also this show continues to be like very broy. It just feels so broy.
Yeah. Yeah. I I'm with you on the Cordelia stuff. It does feel like we're getting shades of like season 1 Buffy Cordelia, which I'm not a huge fan of because they did a great job at building this character up. I don't know why we need to then make her the idiot who makes
it's a man. This is why I think like this is the thing. It's a man show. So like a show for men because Buffy is the girls show, right? Whatever. So like girls have to be used for love interests a la Kate or
damsel
to be
in
like
distress.
the damsel in distress, like ditzy character. And I think
because
like,
we've seen
that's
that
the
happen
one.
so many times now where like how many times do we have to watch Cordelia get duped? Like she's not going to make this mistake over and over and over again. Like you said, she's incredibly intelligent. Like she's going to pick up on stuff. It's very frustrating. And I'm really loving like what the little we've seen of Wesley on the show so far. I think every time we go to like an Angel and Kate scene, I'm just annoyed because I'd much rather be in a scene with Cordelia, Wesley, and Angel, or like honestly, Angel doesn't even need to be there, and like it's fine.
Yeah. I think also like the Angel Kate stuff is where it feels like the most like procedural, like law and ordery, like
it's copy.
Like I feel like this is where like I start being like, ooh, like this feels like. I don't know.
It feels procedural, but also like Batman because like
Batman-y, yeah,
and like it's like what this isn't Batman. Like what are we doing?
That's what like that's the vibes that like very comic booky. Like that's definitely the vibes that like I'm picking up on, and I think like when the show leans, I mean, but also that's like Angel's like quote unquote unique voice. That's what makes it different from Buffy. So it's like they're going to keep this sort of feel. I don't know. I mean, like I just feel like there's a lot of aspects I'm really interested in, and I do think that there's times where I'm like very excited about Angel storylines, and then there's times where I'm like, why are you doing this? Like I don't like it. So was this one of our Michael's, right? Michael, was this one of the
let me look. So no. And
Okay.
yeah, Michael's list is the ones that like have overlap or like impacted by Buffy, and this was not on the list. We don't have one on the list for quite a while.
Michael's favorite episodes ever.
Yes, Michael's favorite episodes. No, it is not on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, overall I'm very meh on this episode because I'm really enjoying getting to see Wesley and Cordy like bounce off each other again. And I did, to your point, I did really enjoy Cordy like sticking up for Angel while also being like, get him! As soon as they think he's Angelus.
And I love the last scene where and Angel was like, if you ever think that I'm like evil, like take care of it. And like Cordelia was like, I absolutely will.
Yeah, no worries, I'm on it.
I think that that's like a really nice moment as well because it gives Angel is putting trust in Cordelia, which is nice because once again, Cordelia is not a fucking moron and she wouldn't give this random guy all this information about Angel because she's not an idiot. I think like that's maybe what's annoying me the most. It's just like, why are you treating her this way? And I think it's just because then we can have her be like a damsel in distress. And that's
it's stupid. Almost like, you know what it is? It's instead of laughing with her, we're
laughing at her.
Yeah. And it just feels gross. It doesn't feel good. Because yes, she's the comic relief, but also she's really smart. So let's not go for the easy laugh of like making her dumb.
Yep. I agree. I mean, I think it's funnier when we like have Wesley act like a dummy because like it's like the opposite, right? You look at him, you're like, he's British, he looks really intelligent, he wears glasses, but like he's kind of like a wuss a little bit.
Yeah. He definitely is. Yeah.
That's funny. Not so much like Cordelia making like amateur mistakes that like maybe would make sense once, but like she would like catch up. It's just I just didn't like that aspect. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, do you want to do feedback first or do you want to do rankings first?
Well, we'll do feedback.
Okay, let's do some feedback. We got an email from a new listener named Andrew. Which was really exciting. Andrew says, I hope you don't mind me coming to you from late 2023 as I'm just discovering the podcast and starting from the beginning.
Wow.
Even though based on where you are in season 4, I know some exciting things are happening that I can't wait to get your thoughts on. I'll have to earn that right though by getting caught up. And I know I'll know I'm getting close to caught up if I hear this read out on the podcast at some point. In any case, I'm a longtime Buffy fan, and I'm excited to get to share the experience with some lovely folks who somehow remained unspoiled. I'm so curious how both of you will react to essentially everything coming up. In the meantime, I hope you won't mind some 3-year late feedback. This made me so happy, Sarah, because it's really a trip down memory lane for some of this. I found the way you both refer to the master as simply master in the first 2 episodes strangely adorable, almost as though you're referring to him as your own master. To that I say, Andrew, just wait until we start calling him Daddy Vamps and never look back.
I mean, yeah, master. He was just master.
He's master. The speculation of Angel being a literal angel was hilarious. At one point, Jess wondered why he wasn't dressed in all white if he was an angel, to which Sarah responded, it was because that would be too obvious. Naming a character who was supposedly secretly an angel wasn't obvious enough. We were sweet summer children back then.
Yeah, really innocent and stupid.
2023, Jess and Sarah don't like Xander very much, but I'm hoping 2025, Jess and Sarah have turned around on him somewhat.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think at least you came around on him much quicker.
Yeah.
I'm coming around on him just in this season, I would say. Yeah. And kudos to Anya for, doing some of that legwork for me.
Right.
I apologize for rambling. I didn't mean for this to go on so long. I'm starting to listen to your recap of Teacher's Pet, which is the mantis one, where Jess was definitely expecting a werewolf and not a sexy mantis lady.
Oh my gosh.
And that's Andrew's email. So Andrew, when you hear this in the future, thank you for listening.
We lost Andrew.
It's somewhere along the way. Is he gonna leave as soon as he hears Daddy Vamps?
Like, you know what? These people are unhinged. That'd be so sad.
If that happens, Andrew, please do email us and let us know when you fell off. Although you wouldn't be hearing this now.
I know. Because he fell off.
I know. Well, maybe we'll never know. But yeah, if you're a new listener, reach out always, because I seriously get so much joy out of hearing old nonsense we've said from years ago is very, very fun for us. So always reach out.
I thought that Angel being an angel was a really good take.
I thought so too.
I remember thinking there was one time where Buffy put a cross in his chest, and I was like, yeah, that's a scar that stays there forever.
Yeah.
I was fully convinced too. I'm like, yeah, it's always gonna be there.
He's a literal angel.
Yeah.
We also got a voicemail from Joy, so let's hear what Joy has to say about Buffy.
Hey guys, it's Joy. I'm walking my dog, so hopefully you can hear this and it's not terrible sounding. Sorry I missed Hush and parting gifts. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks, so all I'll say is it's really, really cool that a show that was groundbreaking because of its dialogue became groundbreaking in a different way because of an episode without dialogue. Hush is my second favorite episode, and it's my husband's favorite episode. My favorite and his second favorite is later on, but we're just switched, and that's always fun. As for a parting gift, I'm sorry. Wesley will be added to Angel. How awesome is that? It's so fantastic. I love it. And I quote, I'm a rogue demon hunter. What's a rogue demon? Probably once every few weeks. That's hilarious. Okay. Now, also, what's the next one for Buffy? Doomed? Has some of the best Spike lines of the entire series. He is so freaking funny. And, season 4, man, it's not my favorite because of the big bad to be determined. And because Riley, I'm with you, Jess. He's just a nothing burger. He's just meh. I just find it, I don't know. I can't explain it. I like a broody boy though, so maybe that's it. Actually, it's a pretty good season. So I don't know. I might have to redo my rankings with this new watch because it's been so long since I've watched it. And then Snambulous with Jeremy Renner. I get annoyed with Kate because It doesn't matter that Angel's trying to do good. It doesn't matter that he has a soul now. All she can see is all of his past bad deeds, which, he should be held accountable. But I don't know, she reminds me too much of Matt from Vampire Diaries, and he annoyed the hell out of me. So anyway, that's about it. Hope you guys are still enjoying watching the show, and I'll try to keep up with this. Again, I was sick for 2 weeks. I don't know if you can still hear it in my voice. Okay, that's it. Okay, bye.
Poor thing.
Poor Joy. Well, we hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I forgot that Kate literally Googled.
Yes,
she Googled him and was like, "Wait a minute, he's bad."
She's so annoying. And to go back to what Joy was saying about Riley, because I do think there's compatibility there with Buffy and Riley, but that's what it is. It's I can't put my finger on what it is that I'm meh on about him, but I just find him to be so boring. He's
not boring though. He's not boring.
I can't help it.
That's the crazy thing is that he's not boring at all. So when you're when people are he's a nothing burger, he's boring, it's you mean he's not a vampire. That's what you don't like about him.
No, I will say the times I like him best are when he's being a little I don't know if dopey is the best word, but he's making mistakes, right? When he's a little awkward around Buffy and he's offering her cheese, or at the very end of the episode when he's oh, next thing I'm going to give away my rank and blah, 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 blah. And she's wait, you have a security card? And he's no. That was funny. That was cute.
He was I can't believe I came up with that. That was or whatever he said, whatever excuse he gave.
Oh, he was mad at himself for when Willow and all of them obviously know something's going on. She's so you stopped buying your G.I. Joe uniform. I don't know. It's there's something there, but to Joy's point, Spike is killing it this episode, and Kate is boring and annoying. You've never Vampire Diaries, have you?
No, I really truly haven't seen any vampire shows at all. I mean, I've said before, the closest I've gotten is Twilight. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll Vampire Diaries one day. I don't have it on my list of shows to do ever. Yeah. But it seems like a good background show, possibly.
Not for me. No. I hope you feel better.
She sounds better. And honestly, I kind of like when people call us when they're on a walk, because you can just hear birds chirping in the background sometimes. It's so nice. Nice ambiance.
What kind of dog do you have?
Oh, we need to know that information, Joy. What kind of dog do you have? Mm-hmm. Also, if you want to email in a photo, just saying.
Wouldn't hate it.
Definitely would not hate it. Okay, let's get to our rankings. So we are going to be ranking the following characters. We have Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, Spike, Anya, and Riley. Those are the characters we're ranking this season. There are 7 of them. Mm-hmm. So how do we want to do this, Sarah? Do we want to go bottom to top? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You could go.
Okay. I'm making an adjustment because I feel like after the conversation we had, I did want to make an adjustment. Okay. Okay. So at the very bottom, I'm going to put Riley. And the thing is, I don't hate Riley. It's very difficult for him to be higher than the bottom because he's very new to the show. And like I said, I do find him to be kind of meh. So it's whatever. There's room for growth, obviously, but he is at the bottom. Second from the bottom is Xander. And listen, we should all just be happy he's not at the very bottom. I don't hate Xander this season. In fact, everyone on this list, I'm enjoying for the most part. Xander's having his best season yet, but he just is not going to surpass these other characters because I love them more. But kudos on Xander for not being at the bottom. Next up is Giles. And when I look at this list and I see Giles this low, it makes me really sad. But then I think, what storyline has Giles had this season where I am Giles was great here? I feel like part of it is that he's not Buffy's watcher anymore. Part of it is that I kind of want him to get a job or a hobby or something. He's fucking, so good for him. I really enjoyed Spike and Giles' roommates. And I'm kind of sad that's not the case anymore because he kicked Spike out. Because I found them, this roommates, to be also very funny. Next on my list is Buffy. And that is rough. Girl fell to 4th. we're in a rough state right now with Buffy this low. And I think part of it is she was just such sad girl vibes for like 5 episodes at the start of the season. And I was just over it. I had had enough. And even now, she's like inventing reasons for her and Riley not to be together. And it's like, girl, can we just get over it? Can you get over yourself? Can we all just get over it, please? A little bit for me. Next on my list is Spike. Spike is incredible. He's like by far the funniest on most of these episodes we've watched recently. I'm really enjoying his contributions. Maybe this is a little high for him right now because he hasn't had a ton of time in this season, but he's just so funny that I had to put him this high. Next up is Willow. And I was a little surprised that myself that I had Willow this high. But when I look at her character arc this season, I'm really enjoying, like, the Oz stuff broke my heart, but I also think it like unshackled her in a way and is going to give her much more breathing room as a character. I'm really enjoying all the witchy stuff. I'm really excited about the Tara stuff to come. Hopefully one day she'll be able to fix poor little rat Amy just chilling in her cage, knowing an earthquake's about to come and not able to do anything about it. I really am enjoying Willow this season. And I also, part of it is like, I really enjoy her and Spike bouncing off one another. So I hope we get to see more of that. And there's only one spot left, and it's the top numero uno spot. And of course, that's going to go to Anya because she's an icon, she's a star, and she's an international treasure. And that's where she belongs, as number 1. And that's my ranking, Sarah.
Very nice. Good rankings, Jess. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think, okay, so my number 7 spot, okay, I'm going to preface this by saying I actually don't dislike any of these characters. And I think like that's pretty a rare thing for
Agree.
us in these rankings. Like I feel as though there's like typically somebody like, well, I fucking can't stand this bitch, so obviously they're on the bottom. Like I hate this person. And I really don't hate anybody. I think that this is probably everybody's like besides Buffy, who's having a rougher season. Like I think that like this is the most I've ever liked everybody in this show. And I think like maybe this mixture of people really work for the show. Like maybe they found like a good combination, but I really like everybody. So like I'm going to put Xander down here, but not because I'm not enjoying Xander, because I am enjoying Xander. I just don't know, besides the Anya stuff, like they're not giving him that much. And it's because of his storyline of like not going to school. Like he doesn't have like a lot of he doesn't have a lot going on.
He could definitely have a bigger story arc that would move the needle forward for sure.
Yeah. But I like the stuff that I see from Xander, and I actually like, and like I have Giles next, and maybe in some episodes I have Giles on the bottom and Xander above him. Like I think that they're pretty interchangeable for me as like my 2 least favorite characters to watch right now. And it's strictly because of the same thing. Like I don't feel like that because Giles doesn't have a job and he like doesn't have a hobby and he doesn't have like much going on. Like I feel as though they kind of like are benching both of these characters a little bit. But I like them. I like that they're on the screen. Like they're not annoying me, but they're just like I'm not like very excited about them right now. And it's because I think that the show, like I said, I think they're like benching these characters a little bit. Like I think that they've had more responsibility or like bigger parts in the show, but they're letting other people like, you know, Spike shine, or Willow have her moments that are individual moments. So yeah, I think like I have like them and they're interchangeable. Like catch me like in an hour and I might change them back. Next up I have Willow, and it's only because she's been kind of like whiny and annoying, and I think that it's because of the Oz stuff. Like where the Oz stuff worked for you, I don't think the Oz stuff obviously worked for me. I've talked about it before. And I also think that I don't know. Like I love her potential. I'm really excited about her potential, but like at this moment, I don't know if I'm like super excited about what's been going on in season 4 thus far for her. I think it's because of Oz. Like, I'm really happy that she's like unshackled. Like, I'm really interested in her like continuing her witch studies. I'm like happy that she was like thriving in school or college. I think that was cool. But like I don't know. Like I'm like really looking forward to that Willow edge that I know is going to have to come eventually. Um or just like the Tara stuff. I think like that's going to be really exciting to watch. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the season if Willow like spikes up to the very top. Next I have Riley. Like I've been Riley's advocate for like a really long time. Like I really think he's an interesting character. I think that I just like can't believe like when you or like Joy or whomever is like he's boring. Like in my opinion, he's actually the opposite of boring because he's so multi-layered and he has a lot going on under the surface. Like in my mind, like that's the definition of not boring. Like I genuinely think the reason why people don't like him is because he's not a vampire or supernatural and people want him to be, and that he's just like, I don't know, like a military guy. And I guess like some people find that boring in comparison, but truly, like he's really on paper, seemingly a great match for Buffy, where she can have the best of both worlds. She can have somebody that's normal, but like gets it. And I feel like that is going to be something so hard for Buffy to find. Like Buffy fully, it's okay. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this, but it's their relationship reminds me of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship because stop it. Stop laughing at me. Because like Taylor Swift needed somebody who is as successful, as in the spotlight, like not as famous, but like at like, and they like are both in entertainment, and like he would never like dim her shine. Like he lets her be in the spotlight, and then like they can like they like basically they can be in the spotlight and like they have like fans and they're like famous together, and like but they can like go and have like a Mother's Day brunch and like live a normal life. And it's like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get to live the best of both worlds of being like super famous but very normal. And like I feel like Buffy and Riley have the same thing. Like they could be like, fighting like a kick-ass duo, like a great partnership and like fighting the evils of the world. But then they can go to like his parents' house in Iowa and have Thanksgiving dinner. And I feel like that's really healthy for Buffy. I don't know. I'm like really high on Riley and I'm really high on Ruffy. I'm sorry. I know he's not like, like a Spike or like an Angel, but like he's good for her. I just can't like, I don't know. Next I have Spike because he's so funny. He's just like such a great character. And like this is like my favorite, that these moments are the best that I have seen and enjoyed Spike, because he's away from women and like being mean to his girlfriends and like calling them useless and like pathetic. But this like down and out Spike is just pure joy for me. His comedic beats are just spectacular. And then like this is where it got really hard as well, like just like in the bottom, because I mean, I love Buffy and like I'm like a ride or die for Buffy. Like I really am. I think she's a great character. I think that she's really, really important to have on TV. But Anya is just spectacular. Like she really is. And I think like purely based on like Anya is like hasn't been around for that long. We don't get her in every episode. I have her as number 2 and I let Buffy stay as number 1. But I gotta tell you, if Anya was in this past episode and she said one thing or did one thing that was entertaining or made me laugh or I was like drawn to, Miss Anya girl would have been in the 1 spot. Like I'm telling you that, because like that's how much I love her. But just based off of like she's just not in every episode. She's not around as much.
Yeah.
She's not in the coming or the opening credits at this moment. So I just like, I can't put her as number 1 because like we just don't get her as much. But like I said, like I feel like they could be interchangeable. Like a lot of the times, like I get really excited to see Anya on my screen, or like I like to see what she's up to and her reactions. And yeah, I think like this is a really good showing from everybody, really. Like I know like Buffy's been having like her like annoying moments this season, particularly this episode, but it's like undeniable how like spectacular it is to have this strong female character on my screen, and the fact that like I don't know, she's like very inspirational, like and I think like it, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was really important to see somebody like this, like this type of character, especially like watching like some other 90s shows where like the female leads or like the main female characters just like don't really get like these strong moments. I think it's just like really important. So I'm going to keep her as my number one so far right now.
Incredible.
Has she ever fallen off of number one for me? I don't think so.
I will look at the document.
I am loyal to Buffy Summers.
You're very loyal. Season 1, Buffy at number 1 for Sarah. Season 2,
What'd I do? Who'd I do?
2,
Cordelia?
character rankings for Sarah. Cordy,
Oh.
Drew, and then Buffy.
Oh,
Buffy was 3rd.
okay. Well, you know, okay. I have selective memory.
Season 3, you returned to your Buffy stand-up, and she is number 1.
I might have been mad. Sometimes I get a little spiteful.
You get a little petty. Yeah, you get a little petty
So
Betty.
sometimes if you do something against me, then I drop you to 3. But
Drop you to 3.
I
I drop you to 4. Yes. Okay, do you want to know the next titles for Buffy and Angel?
Yeah.
So Buffy season 4, episode 12, A New Man.
A new man.
Who's getting a new man? I mean, Willow's obviously going to be hitting it off with Tara, so it's not her. Buffy and Riley, I think, are still a thing. Like, I don't think that's over. So,
yeah,
we've got
I don't know.
them.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
An Angel, season 1, episode 12, expecting.
Oh,
Someone's pregnant.
Probably with like baby bugs or something. It's gonna be revolting.
Ew! I hope not.
No.
What if it's one of those weird, like Twilight pregnancies?
I can't talk about this.
Baby Renesmee on the way. So that'll be next week. In the meantime, Shit90s Pod everywhere, shit90spod.com. If you want to send us in a voicemail or an email, we love getting those sorts of things. And of course, we're also covering Felicity. And recently, I guested over on Whirlwind Podcast over on the Everwood podcast for One Indescribable Podcast. Go check that out. It was so much fun. It was so silly and very enjoyable. Sarah, anything else you want the people to know about?
No, but thank you.
Okie doke. We'll be back next week with more Buffy. Until then, everyone, here endeth the lesson.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.